Welcome back, everybody. Got an observing program that I want to share. Double Trouble, Deep Skies Wonders in the Twins. This is probably coming out later than I really want. I probably should hold it to, I was thinking October, November of next fall. Uh, but Gemini is still positioned really well in the evening sky into the late evening sky. Right now, it's pretty close to zenith. This is coming from live sky, and zenith would be just right above Castor up here in Pollux. And so you still can get out this month, the month of March. Still a great time to get out and see some of these objects, observe them, image them however you want. So I decided to go ahead and share it. Now, please realize all these observing programs that I'm doing are just a starting guide. I'll probably refine them, give them a little more tweaks. Eventually, I'm going to link them all together into one document that people can purchase. But anyway, uh, there's a lot more objects in all these constellations that are both fun, eye candy, and extremely challenging objects as well. So whether you're a visual observer like me, or you're looking for targets to image with your setup, or go after with the C-Star or other electronic telescope, which I also do, uh, use the guide as it's intended. Go to Gemini, which is the twins, as you can see here in this image. Jupiter's positioned really well right now up in Gemini. It's been there most of the fall, so and winter. So anyway, plenty of objects to go after here. Uh, I will state up front, eventually these programs are only going to be for members, both free members and paying members, and that will come beginning June 1st of this year. So if you enjoy these and you're not a member, I invite you to join. I want to thank our members who have joined, and Andrew Witt, who is our Deep Space Explorer. And so now on to the actual guide. When most people think of Gemini, they picture Castor and Pollux, the two bright stars at the head here in the head. Uh, they're standing tall on winter nights. They're bright. They're easy to spot. Very familiar. But what often gets overlooked is that Gemini is quietly one of the most rewarding constellations for observers and imagers. So tonight's observing plan is built specifically for telescopes in the 10 to 20 inch range uh, that you can move well beyond detection and infrastructure texture and depth and contrast. You can do that imaging as well. However, if you have a telescope less than 10 inches, still give some of these objects a try and see what you can see. That is one of the fun things with visual observing and imaging. You never know what you're going to see or what you're going to get out of an object unless you try. It's This isn't a beginner's tour. It's not a list of impossible threshold objects either. Instead, it's carefully tiered roadmap designed to help you extract more from Gemini each time you observe there. We'll start with some foundation targets, open clusters that explode into chains of stars, planetary nebula with visible shells and lobes, and galaxies that show a core, an edge, or a subtle elongation. These objects anchor your eye and calibrate your experiences. From these, we'll move into detail and structure, galaxy groups where multiple members share the same field, distorted spirals that reward patient averted vision, nebula like the jellyfish and medusa that only reveal themselves when transparencies, filters, and experience come together with the right instruments. And finally, for those nights when the sky is truly steady and dark, those nights of nights, the advanced tier moves you into truly double trouble, pushing us toward Gemini's faint limits. Low surface brightness, galaxies, subtle filamentary nebula, and delicate structural details that demand time, stillness, and trust in your observing skills and imaging skills. This plan, just like any others, isn't meant to be rushed. Gemini rewards slow observing and slow imaging. Careful. It's a constellation where revisiting the same object on different nights can completely change what you see depending on the conditions and the instruments and eyepieces you use. Use filters, vary your magnification, sketch if that's your style, or take detailed notes or image. And most importantly, let your eye learn the sky. So whether you're setting up a 10-inch under a suburban transparency or a 20-inch under a winter dark sky, Gemini is ready to surprise you. I can promise you that. If you're an imager, there are plenty worthy targets here. Nice bright objects, fainter and more challenging objects. I recommend you try a variety of these objects and see what you come up with. So let's begin with level 1, the foundational observing, and see how deep the twins really go. Level 1, foundational observing. The goal is orientation, contrast, and learning what structures look like in the big glass. First one, M35. This is an older sketch I did from back at about 2012. It explodes just into chains and loops, and you can see partially here. This is Messier 35 in Gemini. Actually, this is from 12/31/2024 in my 17 and a half. So this is a more frequent view of M35. I was wrong on that. Some of the other sketches are a little bit older. So this was a top view and just beautiful structure there. The next one object is 2158. It has a dense globular-like core. The next one, another open cluster, 2420 is an old rich cluster with grainy texture. 2266, very compact open cluster. Dark lanes are visible there. 2355, well populated and elegant. 2129, two clusters in one field, well worth the time. You have the Eskimo Nebula. Here you can see a sketch of the Eskimo I did. Inner shell, obvious. Used the O3 on this. Very bright central stars there. You can see the inner shell and some modeling on there too. 237172. This is an old sketch from 2009 when I was first starting to sketch. Very raw. But anyway, it was done in my XT10 at 266 magnification. So J900, a planetary nebula, rectangular shape, centered with two opposing bright lobes, one to the west, one to the east. You have NGC 2410, which is a galaxy, bright nucleus, oval halo. Magnitude is 13, so it's going to be a challenge there. Double stars, Castor, A, B, and C. See if you can split them. Elhana, subtle color contrast there. Wasat, elegant wide double. Great one to go after. Easy. Propus, deep red hue on Propus. Then let's move on to level 2, which is going to give you more detail and structure. Observers should be comfortable with faint contrast. Dark skies are preferred on these. Your goal is to get exact shape, texture, and faint extensions on these. Again, we're going to go for galaxy groups and structure. 2339. Spiral arms can be teased out with averted vision. See if you can get those spiral arms to come out. 2423 is a subtle glow near stars. See what you can see there. IC443, can you trace multiple filaments with an O3 filter? This is a sketch I did several years ago of the element of IC33, and I actually that night was able in the 17 and a half just to tease out some of the filaments there, very faint as you can see in this gauge. Able 21, patchy arcs, large ghostly glow, not uniform, low surface brightness. Sketch coming up. Can you see the internal structure in the lobes on 2371-72? There's a beautiful sketch by Abstec over on Cloudy Nights that kind of shows some of those details. I don't have permission. I didn't ask for it, so I'm not going to get that. I'll put a link here for that. Can you see the outer shell on 2392 and the outer rim with contrast between the two? Open clusters. Can you resolve across most of the disks for 2158? 2420, can you get the fully granular look? 2266, can you see the star chains and the voids there? 2355, can you see the curved stellar arcs? IC 2169, sparse faint stars, and 2126, low contrast cluster. From there, we're going to move into the advanced, level 3. These are faint and limited. Experienced observers, excellent transparency. Probably these are going to shine in a 14 to 20 inch scope if you're visually observing. These are threshold objects. Look for shape and recognition and have patience. You got 2331 on open cluster, 2341 and 42. They're a faint interacting pair. And then IC 2188, elusive elongated glow there. Nebula, so those were your open clusters and galaxies. Sharpless 2, 249, very faint alpha region. O3 is marginal on that one. IC 444 just above IC 443, subtle nebulosity there. And then can you get the full loop in IC 443? That's going to require wide fields and the use of filters there. In 2392, can you get the central star? Need high power, high magnification on that. 2371, 72, and see can you get the shape and the symmetry that goes with those shape. And then finally in Able 21, the Medusa Nebula, can you get the wispy arcs as I captured in this sketch on that? This was a night of observing. I believe that was with, I don't know if that was a 17.5 or a 24 I was using that night. Filters matter. O3 is essential for IC 443 and Able 21. Go for 80 to 120x for the nebula, and then 150 to 300 magnification for galaxies and planetaries. Transparency is always very critical, especially for the galaxies in Gemini. Sketching helps you to reveal subtle details. If you're imaging, see what details you can pull out of it. Use this. So then what I've done is I've put a checklist here. You can print that off. I'll link the actual observing plan down below, both as a Google Doc and a PDF, and you'll have access to the checklist and just some quick notes for each object if you want to be able to print that off. Now, for those who are members, this is the actual Google Doc that I've done up for it. What you're going to see below is I will share this, but you have to be a member to get this. I have each object, the description, the RA, and the declination, and then my actual observation of the object. So you can kind of compare that with your own observation. Anyway, I hope that helps you. And again, would invite you, if you're not a member, to become a member so you can get access to this type of stuff. And do remember that as I begin to put these, I'm going to put them together by seasons. So we'll eventually have a fall, a winter, a spring, and a summer collection of constellations and observing programs to go for. And those will be available for either you can pay to get it or you'll need to be a contributing member to get those. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope that you have clear skies and a wonderful day, and we're just going to pop over and end the video. Thanks again for joining me.